This is the Round 2 podcast with Galen, Parker, and Stephanie Nicole, where we talk to big thinkers, big dreamers, and big idea havers. Quitting and failing are not the same thing, and we're going to show you why. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back like we never left. I am your co-host, Galen Parker. This is my co-host, Stephanie Nicole. Stephanie Nicole, say hello to the people. Hey, everybody. The most modest hello. I'm just going to start saying like, hey, everybody. And people are going to be like, that's not indicative of your personality, Galen. Stephanie Nicole, how was the weekend?
It was really fun. I worked. What about yours?
Nothing happened.
Oh, yeah.
Just the same old. I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook or on TikTok. Feel free to tap into that because I tell a story of something that has never happened to me before. And as I was talking with my co-host, with the most, Stephanie Nicole, she said this has happened to her before. It's never happened to me. I've never come to this situation where I go to a property, I meet my clients, they're pre-approved with my lender, they've gone through the whole thing, they're the great clients. We go to a house, someone opens the door and says, "Are you here for the showing?" And I say, "Why, yes, I am." And they say, "Well, we live here." And I'm like, "You like live here like you moved out?" And she was like, "No, we bought the house and we're moving in today. We bought the house last night and we're moving in today." Now, Stephanie, why is the statement like we bought the house last night and we're moving in today very unrealistic when it comes to real estate?
You have to go through a title search and due diligence and all of that. So
yeah, I mean, at the most, I think the fastest I've seen that I've had to do when I bought cash is like 10 days. And I don't like to rush them because I want them to do a good job on the title search. I want them to like title insurance, title search. I want all of that. But what I'm saying is it takes at least 2 weeks for the most part to get all that done. So for her to be like, "Oh, we bought it last night and now we owned it today," I was like, my spidey senses, my Wakanda wariness was going off. I was like, oh, okay. So I made a couple calls. Turns out these people were probably either squatters, nefarious, or tragically, they might be the victim, a rental scam. And that stinks for them because you said you've had that happen to you before.
Yeah, so I actually bought a property subject to that was going into foreclosure. And I guess somebody knew it was vacant, but long story short, I ended up having to put the property back on the market just because the lender ended up calling the loan, y'all. So make sure when you do your subject twos, you do them right. Once we put it back on the market, somebody went to the house to go see it. They ended up calling me and they said, "Hey, there's some people in your house." I go over there and somebody is literally there with a U-Haul truck moving things in. And they said that they gave somebody $3,000 on Facebook Marketplace and they were moving in and they were supposed to be doing repairs in exchange for a lower rent. The rent itself was a red flag because I think this house was like a 2-story, 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a basement house and the rent was $1,000 a month. So that was the red flag.
It's been quite some time since I've rented anything, but I recall the last time I rented something, before I even exchange money, I get inside the house and I get to see it. Like, do people they're not seeing it, or how does that work?
Here's the craziest part of it. Somebody had broken in through the back door, so the doorknob was completely taken off. And then I guess that's how they got into the house. And the people never had keys that moved in. They said that the people they gave their money to said that if they came and did some repairs to include that door and change the locks, then, they would have a lower rent. But I'm trying to say that with the doorknob on that back door being off and just messed around like that, they should have known. And then that $1,000 rent, and then you got to pay them $3,000 in cash. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's too good to be true. I never forget. It's funny, his name is escaping me right now. I'll think about it later. But there was an NBA player who was my client. He's from Petersburg, and someone hacked his Twitter account and it was telling people, "Hey guys, I just got a hookup on these, not PS5s, but maybe PS4s. Hey guys, just got the hookup on the new PS4s. DM right now, tap in, and I'm gonna send you. You just gotta send me so many dollars, and I'm gonna hook you up." So it's coming from their eyes a Twitter account that seems pretty legit. This is a famous person. And so people were cash apping, and it was kind of like, if your name is Stephanie Nicole, but you're like cash apping $500 to Miki Suarez 1237, like that, you would think like, Something's not right, but you're doing it anyway. So you're sending $200. At that time, the PS5 was probably like $500. It's like, it's too good to be true. And like all these people were sending, there was, I think he said like 40 people like had cash app this number, like $200, $300. He's been locked out of his Facebook. So he can't even do anything. He's been locked out of his store. He can't even do it. He basically had to he had to contact NBA headquarters. NBA headquarters had to contact Twitter
What?
headquarters and say like, hey, this is our guy. He's real. He's locked out of his Twitter. He can't get into it. So whoever's doing this is not him. And then like Twitter had to like shut down his Twitter. Then he was able to get access to it. And then he can go into the DMs and he saw all the people there like, hello? So when is it coming? When is it getting
Oh
shipped to us?
no.
Hello? And he felt like so bad. And so then he was like, so after he gets it back and he's like, hey guys, let you know, I was hacked, all this stuff. People were like, so can you get us our money back? And he's like, I got nothing to do with any of this. He was like, no, I'm sorry. It's just like, but I was like, ladies and gentlemen, this will be for anything that you do, whether it's a real estate deal, an investment opportunity, an entrepreneurial program. If it is too good to be true, just walk away or get it vetted by someone. I had a client just this past week who's some party reached out to them and was like, hey, we're going to take over your mortgage payments. We're not going to assume your loan or assume the mortgage. We're going to take over your mortgage payments. You keep the mortgage on your credit, but we get the title and
Oh
deed in our
no.
name. And I was like, and I'm just looking at this contract. I'm like, girl, this don't seem. And I was like, all right. And I was like, look at this paragraph where it talks about default. I was like, so according to this, they're going to pay you like the closing costs, but they're not going to give you the lump sum because they're paying the mortgage. If they default, it says they will just return to you the money that they gave you, which is $3,000. I says nowhere does it say that they give you the property back. I was like, so they can default on this agreement and still keep your deed and title. I was like, that's a red flag. And I was like, now I'm not a legal mind. So I told her, I was like, you better call Qureshi or whatever lawyer that I use. I said, reach out to these guys and like, don't trust me. Look at this and just see. And if they say it's a-okay, then hey, it's a-okay. But from what I'm looking at, I'm like, that don't work for me. I'm like, I get all the liability and you get my deed and title, and I could be just sitting here looking stupid. I'm like, not stupid, but taking advantage of that was happening. So if it sounds too good, it probably is too good. So next on the agenda for this episode, last week we got to talking and dropping gems and going back and forth. It was a great episode, but we forgot a critical segment of the show called the question of the week. So last week's question of the week was, and I don't have it written down, so I'm trying to just run it through in my head. And if you got Stephanie, just feel free to shout it out. Do you remember what it was exactly? I know what it was, but I want to make sure I have the verbiage right. And
I don't
if you
have
don't
it.
have it, then that's okay. Okay, I think it was basically saying if you were stuck on a desert island for 3 years, as us West Indians would say, for 3 years, you could bring one of two individuals. It could either be your very first heartbreak or your most recent fling. It's been 3 years with you. That 3 years, that's a long time.
Hold on,
It's
wait,
over a
but hold on,
thousand
wait, hold on, hold on.
days.
I didn't hear the 3 years part the
Okay.
last time.
Yeah. You got to
A
spend some
desert
time with them.
island?
Just you and them. Now you're not
Not
starving to
starving to
death,
death.
right? No, you're not going to starve to death. But that's the only other human you're going to
Oh,
see.
that's easy. It was a hard.
So it's like your first heartbreak. Your first heartbreak. It's a person who just tore, just yeah, heart smash, and they haven't changed. They the same person that they were when they broke your heart. Or this last fling. Now this is a person that maybe you don't really even know that well. It's just like you were thinking, hey, this is a fling. Yeah, we ain't gonna really. So that was the question that I posed. We're gonna get your response, but what we're gonna start doing, which I thought this was brilliant. You know what we should start doing? Do the question of the week, and then we're gonna Facebook Live, and then have people talk about their answers. I bet you they're not gonna be as nasty. So I asked you that question, and then you put it on Facebook and
On
Instagram, I
Instagram.
believe, in the story, and we got a lot of responses. So we're gonna choose
I
5,
want you to go
the
on. What's
appropriate
your
one.
response first?
For me, see, I'm not a fling guy. That's not how I get down. That's not how I roll. So I've got to bring the first heartbreak. And that stick like it. I wish you guys were in the studio with me. I just felt a physical pain by saying bringing the first, because it's like, oh, all right. But that's who I have to bring. So that is who I would bring. And that, man, I would love to say now maybe after time they've had personal growth and they could change. But based on the stipulations of the question, they hadn't changed. So maybe over the next 3 years they change a little bit. But I can little Galen's heart is just fluttering right now. Like Don't do this to me again. So I'm going first heartbreak. Who are you
So
bringing?
last week, I thought this was like a life or death situation. Like we had to find somebody that would help us hunt food and all of that. And I was torn.
Okay.
I was like, because my first heartbreak, he's an army veteran. You know, he about his game. If we had to do some survival stuff and he had to
Ooh.
cut down some trees or something, I would have took him. No.
You still might.
However, since we don't have to worry about dangers and we're not going to starve to death,
Hmm. Maybe I should add the dangers
my
back in.
body is going to tell me to take my last fling, and we're going to have a great 3 years.
My mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me
We're
yes. So Stephanie Nicole is bringing the last fling. Okay,
bringing
all right.
some
I
fun.
respect your reasoning there. Whew. So you're just gonna be like living la vida loca, and I'm just gonna be like,
No, very
why? Why was it
my last
me?
fling is like mentally unstable as well. Like, don't get it twisted, but we're gonna have fun.
What if this person snaps on you like year one and just starts like talking to voices and being mentally unstable again?
No, just I mean more like petty.
Yeah. Oof. So that's gonna be an up. It's gonna be up and down, topsy turvy. You know, the first 3 months y'all gonna be like, oh great. That month four, you're gonna be like,
We be back together month five.
what did you do? Who moved my coconut? I didn't touch your coconut. Y'all just be arguing. The month five, you're like, man, I don't even care about that stupid coconut. And then like 6 and 7, y'all be good. Then like 8, 9, y'all be looking at each other. Like, so very interesting. All right. So what did Instagram? What did the internet say? What did I'm not trolls, but the internet response. So we had to choose 5 appropriate ones because some of y'all, I'm looking
Side
at
eye.
you.
Oh, me too.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at some of y'all who had responded. Reverend, Senator,
Mayor.
uh, be easy in these DMs. Mayor, Stony. No. Be easy in these DMs, please. So give us. Let's go one by one. What was the one you get? What was choose? Tell me why.
They broke my heart, but I'm gonna go with last fling.
Did they
No.
say why? Oh, we
You
should have
know,
said like, tell us
everybody
why.
said last
Tell me
fling.
why.
Somebody
Interesting.
put
Y'all some
last fling.
nasty.
First
Okay.
heartbreak is legit the worst person I ever known. Someone said
Man.
last fling heartbreak was committed but bad time. And then somebody, this is my favorite response. What if
Okay.
they the same person? Then what? What do we pick? What
What? Like,
if
how old
fling
are
is your
you?
first heart? Nah, sometimes
I mean,
relationships be having
there's
like life to them. Like you might have talked to
these.
somebody back.
Okay, I was about to
Okay,
say,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, how one like if you're an adult, so it's like it's let's say you're 36. Your first heartbreak is when you're 17. So he's saying that the person that he met at 17, 18 has now traveled back 18 years later, and he's
You know,
that's the last
sometimes
like.
them on and off relationships go
Mm-mm,
for decades. You don't know nothing about that because yeah, you don't even do
no,
flings, so you don't know about the other
I'm a,
one.
I'm a babe to badness. I'm a babe to badness. Oh, what do you do with? So, what was the one that you said? Oh, my my heartbreak was the worst person ever. Man, sometimes it bees like that. Like I know who my how did I should say this. I know who my first heartbreak is. She is aware that she was the heartbreak. She's probably not aware that she was the first heartbreak. I'm not gonna say the Father's Day, but I've tried to maintain a cordial relationship with every person that I've ever been around. But when I say that thing hurt, sometimes I feel that I'm very gregarious. I'm very good with people, and I feel like I've got a good sense of people. I can see things coming. I see the danger beforehand. But when you don't see the truck hit you, oh man, that's the worst. I mean, you just thinking everything's okay, and then they hit you. You're just like you second guess every decision you've ever made. You second everything about yourself. You're questioning. That's rough. So life lesson, ladies and gentlemen, be careful. So very good. I like that. I like that. It's funny. I feel like we need to run that question back on face or on which one's better, Facebook or Instagram
On
Live?
live,
Yeah.
probably for responses, Instagram.
Okay. I think we need to do an Instagram Live one day, and we're gonna run that question back, but they have to tell us why, because I want to hear. I want to
Because
see what
I
people say.
can
Because
tell you
I
why
think there's.
everybody said last fling because last fling is that's what our body is telling us to say.
I know, but as adults, I feel like we should be able to talk to some people and be like, all right,
You
I
said
get
there's
what you're
no
saying.
survival.
I'm gonna let the
We
first.
can
I'm gonna let the first 5 people say last thing, and then I'm gonna break it down for them. I'm like, all right, this person that you don't
we
know,
do know them. We know them physically,
you don't know them.
spiritually, metaphorically, all that.
They're a fling. You don't
Listen,
know
my
them.
last fling probably was like 3 years. We probably going on.
Fling is what you throw me into. That ain't no. That was a
I don't have
relationship.
fun.
And if it wasn't a relationship, it was a
Okay, well, we
situationship.
were thinking situationships
You
are
were
the
you
same
were
thing as
you were Jada and he was
yeah.
Will.
I'm
Or
August and I was
but
Jada.
you know what's funny? So people punked. This is we all over the place, and that's fine. We got time. People really was like teasing Will Smith about that whole situation. Who haven't you heard from it in probably 2 years?
Who? August?
August.
But in Will's defense, nobody should be dragging him because he was the innocent person in that situation. And let's start with he's not that innocent because according to the
I'm
underground
not
blogs,
innocent.
Will Smith has had the same
Mm.
girlfriend for like 10 years and it's not Jada.
Well, my thought is August brought attention to
Yeah.
this whole thing, and I feel like Will Smith got him out of here, out of Hollywood, out the spotlight. I mean, he got that man. August Zena probably got 13 followers on Twitter right now. Probably it's like you ain't nobody heard from him. He ain't dropped a single, and he had good music, but he ain't dropped a mixtape. He ain't featured
Last
on
time we
nothing.
heard from
Chris
August is
Brown,
when he got into it with Tory Lanez before he got locked up. Because then he got into a fight.
isn't that funny? There was some exchange and like that whole Tory Lanez thing. It's like I'm sorry, but I can't tolerate short people. I'm like, you ain't gonna say nothing to me. I'm like, what's wrong,
No,
little buddy? Anyways, but that whole situation is crazy. But yeah. That was. But I was like, man, Will Smith just got this man all the way out of here. He ain't famous to him. Basically, what he did, he just ain't famous to him now. I probably saw August Alsina at Foot Locker the other day, and I was like, "Who is that? Is that the guy that plays for Virginia Union?" People are like, "No, that's August Alsina." I'm like, "Oh,
then
okay,
got him
well,
up out of there,
I
sent
didn't
him
know.
home.
You got him. Let him go." All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the meat of this episode. Last week we talked about 5 ways, 5 patterns, 5 consistent things you want to do of an entrepreneur. So this week we thought let's go 3 reasons. 1, 2, 3. 3 reasons, West Indian speak, that people quit on themselves. And the reason why we wanted to kind of just touch on that, because if you can identify ahead of time why people quit, you're going to be more prepared to address that in yourself in the future. And fact of the matter is, quitting and failing are not the same thing. It is very likely that your business will fail. This whole podcast is about things that fail, but what you do after that. It's okay to fail. Fail until you finally find success. Write that down. Fail until you finally find success. But quitting on yourself is something totally different. That is something inside. And so we're gonna talk a little bit about them. So Stephanie, you said you had one that just popped out of your mind of reasons, and it might be more than 3, because as we talk, we got stuff to say. We got gems to chop. Reasons why people quit on
For
themselves. What do you got?
me, there is only one reason why people quit on themselves, and that's because you
Okay.
lack belief in yourself or you lack confidence in yourself. So I
Mm.
just feel like people subconsciously have limiting, and I keep going to this, have limiting beliefs that they kind of like stand on and manifest in their life, which they may not even know that they have, but those beliefs kind of like hold you back. Like you may display that, hey, I'm the best at this or this, that, and third. But if subconsciously you don't believe in yourself or you feel like that's not true, then it's going to manifest in a way to where it won't be true.
If I knew how to use these buttons in here, I'd hit the applause button. I tell people all the time, when it comes to this, you got to drop the weight. And what I mean by that is you got to drop them LBs, those limiting beliefs. That's the LBs that we all just got lodged up in here. You got to drop those off. If you do not believe in yourself, you will never, ever, ever be able to convince anyone else to believe in you. So and there's enough people trying to tear you down, but you can't do it yourself. You have to be so committed to an idea. I think about the story of the individuals who started, I think it was like McDonald's. McDonald's is a billion
Don't get
dollar
me started
baby,
on
cash
McDonald's.
cow.
We're gonna have a whole episode about McDonald's. Put that on the list. I got things.
All right, McDonald's.
I know.
I got opinions about
Whole
McDonald's.
episode.
All right, but think about that. So it's like McDonald's bacon hamburgers. You know what people told them in the beginning? They're like, we make hamburgers at our cookout. Why would we go and buy a hamburger? And like, imagine if the two brothers, before the business got stolen from them, imagine if they believed
True.
that. Imagine if they said, you know what? People already make burgers themselves. Why would they buy a burger from us? I mean, what a crazy fumble. You talk about fumbling the bag. And then they would realize that convenience, time, effort. I'm a big fast food
What?
fan. What I mean by that, I don't mean I eat a lot of fast food. I love the
Me
idea
too.
of fast food because the concept is just brilliant. People are like, I don't like this place. Who cares what? If I go to a Burger King in Bed-Stuy and I go to a Burger King in Bremerton, Washington, the Whopper tastes identical. Do you have any idea how difficult that is? It's crazy how tough to make something with such
Facts.
consistency. I could make dinner tonight and then make the exact same dinner tomorrow night. It might not taste the same. Might be better, might be worse. But I love that idea, and I'm glad that they dropped those LBs, those limiting beliefs. That was a good one, Stephanie. I like that belief in yourself. People just don't believe. All right, the one that I wrote three. Mine, I wrote self-defeating, and that to me is similar as limiting beliefs. You just imagine Mike Tyson get in the ring and punching himself in the face. It's like you
Or
knock
you talk
yourself
yourself
out.
out of
You
things
defeat
too.
yourself. Oh, they're not going to want to. I will be honest. When I got into real estate, I had to get rid of those LBs because I was like, man, who's gonna buy? I live in Chesterfield County. There are a lot of people who are not melanated, blessed as I am. Like they ain't gonna buy no house from me. Like everyone dominating the market were Caucasian women, and I was like, there you. That was like when you look at the demographics of just not just our
Yeah.
area, everywhere. When people think of realtor, they think of woman, a
A what?
Caucasian woman. I couldn't be more opposite of that. I am a melanated man. So I was just like, but I had to say to myself, you know what? People, when they choose their agent, they choose the person. And I think that I can capitalize on that because people just tend to like me. And I was like, I feel like I'm an honest person. I'm gonna treat you like family, whether you like it or not. And like some people are like, ooh, I love when someone treats me like family. I'm like, do you? Do you though? Because when I say I'm gonna treat you like family, I'm gonna really treat you like family. Like I'm gonna take care of you, but I'm gonna say the things that
Oh
need to
no.
be said. I'm not gonna be rude, but I'm gonna communicate you like your family. Like, oh yeah, don't do that. This is a bad decision. But I want to. I'm like, okay, well that's still wrong. I'm gonna treat you like family, and I'm gonna make sure you find a home and taken care of. Not everyone wants that. People want to be treated like a king, like a boss. And I'm like, if that's your then you're not of my tribe and we can't work. But so I had to get rid of, my own self-defeating limiting beliefs to really, take off in the business. I don't know if you had to do that. Were there any what were some limiting did you have any limiting beliefs that you were like, man, I gotta
Yes,
get rid of this?
so I actually struggled in the first year, and it was because I subconsciously believed that I wasn't good enough or I didn't deserve. So that goes back to like a childhood trauma, and that was some stuff I had to work through. But once I worked through it, I started to manifest like a life of abundance. Like I really start. That's why I can speak on it. Like I'm trying to tell people, the only thing holding you back, the only thing that that can possibly hold you back is you, nobody else. Your boss can't hold you back, your
Mm-hmm.
mama, literally nobody. Not even the haters, nobody.
Nobody, baby. Yep. And if that struck a chord with any of you guys, go back to episode 1 and 2 where you talk about mental health and seeing a therapist and trying to work all your stuff out because you got to do that before you can make that. You can be successful. The last two, due to time, I'm gonna say the
Okay.
last two together. They are both lack
Mm.
ofs, and they're very important. Lack of preparation, lack of
Yes.
consistency. Like if you are not prepared, if you lack preparation, it's kind of like a guy who's like, I want to make $1 million. So I'm like, all right, do you got a bank account set up that you could put the $1 million
Oh
in?
no, that's a
No, I'm like,
good
okay, cool.
analogy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, do you got a tax person so that you can keep some more of that money and not give the government more? Oh, you don't have
You
none of
definitely
that.
got
It's
bank
like, I don't know what you do. It's like, yeah, it's like, I mean, you ain't got none of this stuff. It's like people are like, I need some food. I'm like, you got a plate? You ain't got a
account.
plate for the food? I'm like, all right, cool. It's like you got a plate, but you ain't got a fork and knife. It's like you gotta be prepared for what's going to come to you because you already believe that you can do that. But the other one I think is bigger than that is lack of consistency. I see so many people with these great ideas, but just like you gotta do the task when it's no longer exciting, when the shimmer is off of it and it's not glowing anymore. That's when you know your consistency, where you're like, I'm gonna do it even though it's not as exciting or
I
anything like
really
that.
love
What do
that
you think?
last one, a lack of consistency. Because what I would tell you is that people who are more consistent and that show up every day will beat out people with raw talent and all of the knowledge every single day, especially if they're not showing up. And a lot of people ask me, what is my gift, or what is my superpower in like building the businesses that I have? And it's just, I show up every day. I rep my brand every day. I'm consistent. If I say I'm going to do something, like when I first started growing my following and internet presence, I posted every single day at least one time. So it's some people out here, when you're trying to keep up with me, just know you better be ready to work if you're trying to keep up, because it's hard to outwork me.
If you guys haven't done it, take her class. Take one of her real estate or social media challenges. It you really have to be dialed in to be consistent with every, like, people think, oh, social media, I just post online. I'm like, no, 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 no. I was like, the person who's winning is when they post on Monday, Tuesday, when that Wednesday post hits and it's got 2 likes, but they still post Thursday and Friday and Saturday, Sunday, and like it's like, man, no one liked the post. Yes, so you just keep doing it, right? That's
Yeah,
consistency. That's when you are tapping in. And I forgot to say this for you guys, but if you haven't done so already, I feel like we're up at episode 4 or 5. You already got to tap in already. Hit the like and subscribe below. You probably have already done it already. But thank you guys for listening. This has been awesome. I really like what we brought to you guys, and we're gonna have some more things. We're working on some guests. I thought we were gonna have a guest today. I saw Stephanie's Instagram. You guys follow Stephanie. I was like, oh, we about to have a guest, but it didn't pan out. But we're gonna set something up with an actual guest so that they can help you. People who have failed but did not quit. Right? There's a big difference between failing and quit. People have failed but did not quit. And then the question of the week for next week. Stephanie, I'm going to ask you to do
okay.
2 things. You're going to be in charge of posting the question on Instagram and seeing if we get some followers, and posting a picture. I don't know how you post pictures. Do you like just take a picture of the screen? I saw you posted a picture the other day of us in the studio.
Oh yeah,
I think you
that
just
was
took a
us.
picture of it.
Just I was just taking a picture of my phone.
All right, I'm gonna have you do one of those again. After we shut this off, I'm gonna take a picture so you can put that up, and then post the. So it's, would you rather be wealthy or be rich,
That's the easy one.
and why? That's easy for us, but it's not easy for everybody. I've seen it's not easy for everyone because they don't understand the intricacies of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Galen Parker. This is my co-host Stephanie Nicole. This is the Round Two podcast.
See
See
you.
you later. Goodbye.